The Secret of the Old Mill, a Hardy Boy's Adventure by Franklin W. Dixon, narrated by John Rayburn. Law enforcement is basically a means of deciding on a fitting course of action in times of need. Much of the work involved means doing it under pressure, and that is not always an acquired trait. Teenagers Joe and Frank Hardy had ample mental ability to reach conclusions and act accordingly. Some of that ability was handed down by their former police detective, Fenton Hardy, and the overall concept was enhanced by their perceptive cleverness. If you want to be tense with excitement, here's a chance. They discover a counterfeiting operation in an old mill, are trapped, and face a struggle to escape. Eventually, they overcome the misdeeds and wind up with some of the phony money. Listen and hear how it all came to be. Chapter 1 of $5 Bill. The afternoon express from the north steamed into the Bayport station to the usual accompanying uproar of clanging bells from the lunchroom, shouting redcaps, and a bellowing train announcer. Among the jostling, hurrying crowd on the platform were two pleasant-featured youths who scanned the passing coaches expectantly. "I don't see him," said Frank Hardy, the older of the pair, as he watched the passengers descending from one of the Pullman coaches. "Perhaps he stopped at some other town and intends coming in on the local. It's only an hour later," suggested his brother Joe. The boys waited. They had met the train expecting to greet their father, Fenton Hardy, the nationally famous detective who had been away from home for the past 2 weeks on a murder case in New York. It appeared that they were to be disappointed. When the last of the Bayport passengers had left the train, Fenton Hardy was not among them. "We'll come back and meet the local," said Frank at last. The brothers were about to turn away and retrace their steps down the platform when they saw a tall, well-dressed stranger swing himself down from the steps of the nearest coach. He was a man of about 30, dark and clean-shaven, and he hastened over toward them. "I want to pay a fellow $1 out of this 5, remarked the stranger as he came up to the boys. "Can you change the bill?" At the same time he produced a $5 bill from his pocket and held it out inquiringly. He was a pleasant-spoken young man, and he was evidently in a hurry. "I could try the lunchroom, I suppose, but there's such a crowd that I'll have trouble being waited on," he explained, the bill fluttering in his hands. Frank looked at his brother and began feeling in his pockets.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?